Not to get into too much detail, but there was a lot of big politics getting into it with certain people, you know, hustle.
Justice for them.
A young boy would have been there like, yeah.
I think Blacc Sam told his truth, and the people aren't stupid, and they shocked and surprised me.
Big U ran LA like a kingpin, or at least he thought he did. Now, he's in a jail cell, lawyerless, powerless, and apparently penniless.
Today, it was released that the feds have 20,000 hours.
No,
20,000 different wiretaps. Yeah.
And 60 gigs of evidence.
Rumors say his circle's turned on him, and some of his close ties are bleeding behind bars. But while the empire crumbles, Blacc Sam hasn't said a word, until now.
Nobody doing nothing to Khaled, and he's straight and hustle, frontline that. And, you know, we felt like certain people didn't like that.
Sources say he thinks Big U deserves it. Why? Because of the threats and pressure, and the betrayal that may have led to Nipsey's death.
I don't believe, Loose Cannon believes, I don't believe, personally, that Big U sent anybody to kill Nip.
For Sam, this isn't just revenge, it's reckoning. And it's been a long time coming.
I think Blacc Sam told his truth, and the people aren't stupid, and they shocked and surprised me that they were saying, oh, you know, you're doing a puzzle? You're like, I don't really know where these pieces go. So in Blacc Sam's interview, oh, okay, these pieces fit here, 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 and there.
Right.
Let's talk about it. Big U used to walk through South Central like he couldn't be touched. He wasn't just respected, he was feared. He was OG to the Rollin' 60s, gatekeeper of that side of LA. But he's now sitting in a federal cell, alone, and nobody's coming to save him.
You know, he got a lot of enemies. A lot of people don't like Big U. And not only because they're afraid of him, and they had to get rid of him.
The headlines didn't even hit that hard. Most people barely noticed. But the story's wild. Eugene Big U Henley was caught in a 43-count RICO case, and he said to the judge that he'll represent himself. No lawyer, no team, just him. Going toe-to-toe with federal prosecutors like this is a street fight. But this ain't that.
This is a federal case.
Yes.
Whew, good luck, you.
The feds aren't playing around. They're lining him up on charges tied to murder, drug tea-ficking, money laundering, and they're saying his nonprofit was just a cover. That's not just a bad look. It's federal time. Life, if it goes the wrong way. Now, it got worse when his lawyer, Arturo Hernandez, who was with him since the jump, asked the court to let him walk. He said the trust is gone. Their communication broke down. They couldn't even sit in a room together without tension.
Big U's attorney, Arturo Hernandez, cited a breakdown in communication and trust while requesting to get off the case. He said the attorney-client relationship has deteriorated to the point where continued representation would be unfair to both the client and the court.
So, of course, the judge approved it. And when the court asked Big U what he planned to do next, he didn't flinch, said he didn't got the money for a new lawyer, couldn't pay even if he wanted to. That's when people started talking. Because this is Big U, the man who used to have everyone on speed dial. Artists, executives, influencers, gangsters. At one point, he was moving like LA royalty. Now he's broken alone? Tony Yayo said it best. All the friends Big U had, nobody's helping with his lawyer?
I mean, with all the friends that Big U got, nobody's helping him with his lawyer? See, that's when I say the industry is that shit crazy. I mean, to me, that's unbelievable, you know?
And he's right. Nobody's sliding him money. Nobody's covering his legal fees. The same folks who used to post him up on podcasts, shout him out, dap him up backstage are now quiet. Real quiet. It's like the block pressed mute. Even from the Rollin' 60s, there was no public statements, no rallying, not even a rumor of support.
He's his own worst enemy. I've always been that to him, the cleanup guy.
Word on the street is, they've left him to rot. Some say it's self-preservation, others say it's overdue. Either way, the silence says everything. Now the same man who used to control rooms with just a nod is sitting in a cell, flipping through legal paperwork, trying to learn federal law by himself. Representing yourself in a RICO case is not bold or wise, it screams desperation. But the fall of Big U didn't stop at the courtroom doors. Inside the walls, his name ain't what it used to be too. Word is, he's been kept separate from the general population. For someone who once moved freely and loudly in every room, that kind of isolation says a lot. It's not for protection, it's about pressure. Because even if nobody's touched Big U yet, the people around him are not so lucky. Reports out of the facility paint a tense picture. There's been incidents, fights, and not just random scuffles. These ones had real weight behind them. Loose Cannon and Brick Baby, two names tied to the broader case, were reportedly off the grid for 48 hours. No phone calls, no contact. Their families were worried.
Hey Mama, did you hear anything from them? Are you for real? So Brick hasn't called you either? Nope. What the heck is going on?
And when they finally resurfaced, the explanation came out. They'd been involved in a fight. Big U was in it too. No, he didn't get jumped, but he wasn't above it either.
Hold up, they jumped Big U? Oh, cuh.
No, they didn't jump Big U. But best believe Big U was also involved.
Big U was in the fight too? Whoever.
In a call from jail, Loose Cannon danced around the details, careful not to say too much over a monitored line, but the message still came through. Things got physical. There was tension in the air, stuff that started in courtrooms boiling over into the yard. They got taken to the hole, locked down after the altercation.
And we just had a couple of incidents, but at the end of the day, is we maintained it and head up, and we programmed it. But at the end of the day, is I can't wait to come home to my wife.
And even when they came back out, it wasn't over. The energy didn't shift. If anything, it intensified. That might sound like just another day in jail, but for someone like Big U, who used to be the one pulling strings and setting the tone, being on the same level as everyone else is a shift. The guy known for running politics, for enforcing structure, is now caught in the same chaos he once claimed to control. There's no team behind the walls to hold him up, and the talk is getting louder, some saying his name is toxic now. Not feared or respected, just avoided. And it's not just outsiders saying it. The streets are listening to what's coming out from inside. And what they're hearing isn't loyalty, it's distance. Some people are calling it karma. Others say it's just the cycle. Everyone runs out of road eventually. Some even think the set left Big U behind on purpose, because they were tired of being tied to the dirt that's now public record. The lies, the scams, the strong-arming. For years, Big U made it seem like he'd left the streets behind, running charities, setting up studios, claiming to help the youth. But prosecutors say the whole thing, developing options, unique music, was just a cover, a front for extortion, robbery, and even murder.
Oh, he is charged with 1 count of RICO, 2 counts of conspiracy to interfere with commerce by robbery and extortion, the Hobbs Act, 1 count of Hobbs Act robbery, 9 counts of attempted Hobbs Act extortion, 5 counts of Hobbs Act extortion. What is the Hobbs Act?
I couldn't even tell you.
The most brutal claim is that Big U murdered his own artist, Rayon Williams, a young rapper he had coached since childhood. Williams had signed to Big U's label, but after a falling out and a diss track, the feds say Big U flew him to Vegas, took him to the desert, and shot him in the face with a .38 revolver. 5 days after that diss dropped, Williams' body was found in a ditch, shot just like he described in his own lyrics.
Allegedly, Big U killed him and they dumped the body somewhere in the desert. This is what he's being charged with.
And that wasn't the only skeleton to fall out. Big U allegedly extorted weed shops across LA, including one dispensary owner who had to cough up $10,000 just not to get robbed, after already getting hit. Then there's the claim that he scammed NBA stars like Shaq and Draymond Green out of charity donations, that he pressured Adrian Broner after a dice game scam.
With dice games,
of like 1.5 million.
That's crazy that he's
5
mentioned
million.
it. Yeah, but that's crazy that he's even mentioned in the fucking indictment. Like,
Also, that he used check-in politics to extort celebrities and businesses under the guise of protection. All of it, according to prosecutors, was coordinated under Big U Enterprise, his supposed legit label/charity that the feds say was a mafia-like crew. They've got 20,000 wiretaps, years of surveillance, even video of informants handing him money. And when you zoom out, it starts to make sense why nobody's standing up for him now. There's no more illusion of community service, no more big homie narratives, just a long trail of people hurt, hustled, or silenced, and a growing belief that maybe, just maybe, Big U had this coming. The streets even believed Blacc Sam felt this way the most, because the history between Big U and Blacc Sam is layered, not just neighborhood ties or industry run-ins. It was deeper than all that. It was a cold war behind the scenes, a power struggle between two visions for one man's future, Nipsey Hussle. See, rewind the clock to when Nipsey was still coming up, grinding out mixtapes and hustling merch out the trunk. Big U saw potential, real potential. He helped early on, sure, gave Nipsey some connections, studio time, maybe even a few handshakes that opened doors. But Big U didn't just want to support Nipsey, he wanted to own a piece of him.
He was the shining light. He was the diamond in a pile of whatever. He was a diamond. Let me respect to my other homies. He was a diamond in a pile of other diamonds, but he
was a bigger diamond.
And that's where things started to turn. At some point, Big U tried to make the role official, put it on paper. The deal was heavy, allegedly a 10-year production contract under Big U's label, Unique Music. It looked like mentorship on the outside, but behind closed doors, it felt more like a leash, a way to keep Nipsey tethered to street politics, just dressed up in industry talk. But Blacc Sam wasn't having it. Even when they were still local legends, Sam always moved like a boss, quiet, focused, protective. He knew how to read a room, and he didn't trust Big U's playbook.
Blacc Sam was totally against a lot of this. You know, he was telling his brother like, yo, I don't trust, this ain't that, this ain't this ain't that.
The threats, the pressure, the backdoor deals, it was all smoke. And when the music started making money, that smoke turned to fire. Nipsey was blowing up, doing songs with Snoop, touring, talking tech, crypto, ownership. He was about independence, owning his masters, building Marathon from scratch. But that was when Big U started applying pressure, using his gang weight to make it known that if you made it out of the 60s, you had to pay dues. Nipsey's movement was too big to not go through him. One story goes, Big U rolled up on them after a video shoot in the Crenshaw district, supposedly upset about a DJ Khaled appearance. Some say he felt disrespected, others say it was deeper. A signal that Nipsey was getting too big, too fast, without his approval. That moment boiled over. Tension snapped. There was yelling, alleged threats. Nipsey reportedly stood his ground, but it was Sam who made the line in the sand permanent. They say Sam stepped out of the shop with the 40 in hand. The message was loud. This ain't that. After that, everything shifted. Nipsey distanced himself, publicly and privately. On You Don't Got a Clue, he laid it all out. Talked about the middleman, about not needing fake guidance.
Oh, Nipsey dissed the out of Big U. It's a song out there. We dissed the out of Big U.
Yeah.
Fans thought it was just bars, but if you knew, you knew. That track was aimed straight at Big U. There's even a claim that after the diss track was released, Big U went to knock Nipsey out, and Blacc Sam shot 3 to 4 times in the air.
There was a fight, rumble happened. Believe Big U knocked Nipsey out. Blacc Sam comes out, fires 3-4 shots in the air. He's fresh out the penitentiary. Police sitting right across the street, they see it. They come in.
Behind the scenes, Sam made the final call. Told folks, we good. They weren't signing nothing else. No contracts, no splits, no meetings. Big U was cut out of the picture. And that decision changed everything. Because Big U didn't just lose an artist, he lost control. Nipsey and Sam were building their own machine, with no label, no middlemen, no gatekeepers. They weren't depending on the streets anymore. They were trying to leave it behind. But you know how the streets work. When you stop answering calls, they don't forget. Some say Big U never got over it, that behind all the community talk, he was bitter. Some even believe that bitterness played a part in what happened later. And still, Sam stayed solid. Even when folks whispered, even when people close to the situation started asking questions after Nipsey's death, even when rumors came up that Big U had knowledge of something before it went down, Sam didn't fold. He never lashed out, never played the blame game, but he also never sat next to Big U again, never shared a stage, never took a picture, never gave an inch. Because loyalty wasn't just something they rapped about, it was how they lived. Blacc Sam never moved off fear. He saw through the pressure, through the street politics, through the fake unity. And when it came time to protect what he and his brother built, he didn't blink. He just closed the door. And once that door shut, Big U was on the outside, for good. But the rumors didn't end. Did Big U set Nipsey up? It's a heavy accusation. So let's be clear, this ain't proven. No arrests, no charges, no solid evidence, but people keep talking, and when a community doesn't trust you, silence gets filled with suspicion. That's exactly what's been happening with Big U ever since Nipsey was murdered.
The whole community, why? We want to know why. That's all we want to know is why.
As I said, before the bullets flew in front of the Marathon store, something else had already gone cold: the relationship between Nip and Big U. There were stories about the arguments during the DJ Khaled video shoot, when Nip brought cameras and celebrities to the 60s without checking in. And just days later, Nipsey was gone, shot by someone from his own neighborhood.
They say came back with a red shirt on, tiptoed through the alley, and went right and started shooting. So to me, that's premeditated.
The timing was too close, too strange, and when the news broke, people expected grief, respect, silence. Instead, Big U jumped in front of the cameras. In interviews, he tried to frame the loss as a family issue. He said, "That's my little brother. Families argue." But it didn't sound right to everybody. Not because the words were wrong, but because of how they were delivered.
For him to say all this little brother shit about Nip, and on Power Roof for me to know what I know, and watch this dude sit, his brain doesn't work. Did you see the clip when he was live?
Okay, but
and they said justice for Nip? Wait.
Yeah, yeah.
And what did he do? He started laughing.
It felt cold, too casual and rehearsed. Then came the contradictions. At one point, Big U claimed he was in the area the day Nip died, with 100 cars, no less. Later, he changed it up and said he wasn't even in town. Why switch the story?
I keep telling everybody, dumb as a box of rocks. If you listen to him long enough, he's gonna contradict himself and tell on himself. At one time, he had the popularity vote. Now people are starting to see like, hold on.
And what about the post, that IG tribute the day after the murder? Big U wrote that he had just spoken with Nip a few days earlier, said they talked about building a school together. A beautiful idea. But again, the timing. That conversation supposedly happened at the same shoot where tension was boiling over, where people claim things got heated. And now, days later, Nipsey's dead? It left people uneasy, and online, the accusations started flying. Again, nothing proven, but the belief spread fast. And the thing is, if it was just strangers speculating, maybe it could have been ignored. But it wasn't just outsiders. It was people close to the situation, people who knew Nip personally, who were suddenly very quiet when Big U's name came up. Even Blacc Sam, who usually stays off camera, made a cryptic statement in a podcast. Somebody sent that man. That wasn't random.
For me, he felt he was supposed to do a job or somebody sent him or whatever, and he was nervous. He was supposed to hit that alley with that red shirt immediately, but he didn't do that. He came in and he wanted to check the scene. He wanted to make sure he wasn't getting into a shootout. That's my thoughts on it. And can't nobody tell me nothing about that because it just don't make no sense. It's not random.
He didn't say who, but everyone felt the weight behind those words. Loose Cannon, once a soldier for Big U, said on record that Big U told him Nipsey was already dead before it even happened. He even admitted he called Nip after hearing that, but didn't warn him.
Loose Cannon stance was he got a call saying Nipsey was dead on FaceTime. When he called Nip, he wasn't dead. And then 30 minutes later, he got a call that Nip was dead. So his whole thing.
That clip didn't last long. Legal threats flew. The podcast got taken down, but the damage was done. By then, people weren't just questioning Big U's version of events. They were dissecting every move, every interview, every tribute he ever posted. Was he grieving or just trying to keep his name attached to greatness? Blacc Sam speaks without saying a word. Now we're here, present day. Big U's sitting behind bars, facing the kind of charges that don't just go away. And Blacc Sam, he's quiet. But in the streets, silence is never empty. It speaks volumes. And the streets are saying one thing: Sam already knew this day was coming. See, this ain't just about jail. This is about legacy, about principle. And if you know anything about Blacc Sam, you know he's not the type to celebrate another man's downfall. Not even someone who, allegedly, wanted him gone too. That's the part most folks miss. According to whispers from that wiretap and some folks close to the situation, Big U had plans. Nipsey wasn't the only target. Sam's name came up too. Old tension never really cooled. Not after the fights, not after the gunshot in the air outside the Marathon store, not even after Nip passed. Big U might have smiled for the cameras on tour, but that street-level grudge was still there, and Sam felt it. Insiders say that when Big U's arrest made the rounds, someone close to Sam asked him about it. His reply was short. He got what he deserved. That was it. No follow-up. If you've ever seen Sam speak, especially in that rare big boy interview, you know the man doesn't do theatrics. He's not here for drama. Even when he talked about the day Nip got killed, it wasn't with rage or finger-pointing. It was with disappointment, pain, frustration. A brother still trying to hold the line, even while the world around him collapsed.
You know, still can't understand it, honestly. It's Twilight Zone, man. Don't understand. Shook my whole belief in whatever I believed in.
That's who Blacc Sam is. He doesn't chase clout. He doesn't perform for clicks. He moves like someone who's seen enough loss to know there's no win in hate. And that's why this moment hits different. Because while the city buzzes about Big U's downfall, while folks repost clips, dig up old beefs, and throw dirt on his name, Sam stays focused. Legacy over loudness. To Sam, this isn't a victory. It's just balance. The scale's finally tipping. And maybe that's the real message behind all this. Not that Blacc Sam wanted revenge, but that he never had to lift a finger. Time handled it. The same streets Big U once ruled, same ones he allegedly tried to manipulate, came back around. And when they did, Sam didn't have to say a word. Because when the dust settles, legacy speaks louder than ego. And in this case, maybe that's why, deep down, folks keep saying Big U deserves this.